what was the moment this evening's guests of honor, Dini and Yossi Cohn, joined our ASHAR family, they immediately began to contribute, not only with their resources, with their time, but perhaps most significantly, with their positivity and with their can-do attitude. When Yossi and Dini feel that an area of the yeshiva can be improved, can be addressed, can be enhanced, there's no complaining. There's suggestions, there's brainstorming, there's positivity and more positivity. How are we going to get this done? What can we do to make ASHAR even better? Dini and Yossi, as long as our yeshiva is blessed with families such as your own, we're in very, very good shape. Our partnership is strong, and you serve as a role model for our mishpachos, for our community, in what can be done together. Thank you so much for accepting this honor. We're honored to be able to acknowledge you. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless you and your children with health, bracha, hatzlacha, l'arich yamim v'shanim tovim, mazel tov on this well-deserved honor.
As teachers and administrators, we always say that you can really see a parent's strength and talents when looking at their children. Both the Friedmans and the Cohns have shown us what real, strong parenting is all about. Over the past few years, Dini and Yossi have been so dedicated to our school. When COVID hit and we really scrambled to get onto Zoom and to create a whole new school and curriculum online, they were so positive, so enthusiastic. Just getting an email from them saying, "You're doing a great job," was so important to all of us. The Cohn girls are strong students. They have a competitive streak to them, always striving to do their best, always trying to be successful, always polite, and you really can see strong parenting behind them. I want to wish a huge mazel tov to the Cohns on this well-deserved honor, and I'm confident that they will have much nachas from all their girls for many years to come.
When I think of the Cohns, what comes to mind is their partnership in their daughter's education. When we talk about partnership, we always talk about a triangle, that it's the students, the school, and the parents. And they are the quintessential examples of a beautiful partnership. Their daughters, Leora, Kira, Tara, are beautiful girls inside and out. They are determined girls. They strive to reach the next level, whether it's academically or athletically or in fashion. They are real reflections of their parents. Dini and Yossi are professionals. They have taught their girls that you reach high. You have high expectations for yourselves, and you find ways to reach them. And the girls do. Guests of honor, Dini and Yossi, my bracha to you would be that you should have lots of nachas from your girls. But I don't think you need the bracha. You're going to see lots of nachas from them anyway. Mazel tov.
There were so many surprises when we sent our children to ASHAR that we had never anticipated and never even thought existed in a school. They managed to give a fantastic education. They have an amazing staff, and most importantly, the kids are happy to go there, really happy to go there. And I think that that's something that is just immeasurable. Like, you can't find that anywhere else.
All the children are happy to go there. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows the kids. I mean, if you walk in there, the security guard knows who you are, knows who your kids are. It's just a small, friendly school, but with a lot of what the large schools have to offer as well.
And the kids walk away with that and they take it with them. We have 3 children that were in ASHAR, and they're all very, very different. And yet each one of them in their own way loved ASHAR. They really did, and ASHAR was able to give each one of them what they needed, which was totally different, each one, which I think is incredible. My first grader, what she loves the most about ASHAR is lunch. And she tells me that every single day. So good job on the lunch.
You know, my kids like about ASHAR, each one differently, each one something different. I think my older one loved the teachers. I think my middle one, Kira, loves the sports, loves that challenge, loves the school. And my youngest one, she loves the lunch, but she also loves, she loves the plays that they're in. She loves the whole preschool experience. I think she really kind of eats up, and she just loves going there. So each one finds their niche within there, and it's kind of to my point before of like almost having all the options of a large school while still being a small family place.
The event that my kids talk about the most and are the most involved with in ASHAR is Color War. They go all out, and the school makes it very, very exciting. And even though they do the exact same Color War breakout every single year, the kids still finds it really exciting, and they're still surprised almost. And I almost love that. Like, it's kind of part of the joke of the school. Oh, I will say one other thing that I think is incredible is the plays that they put on. I think because ASHAR has been around so long, they have it down to a science where they know exactly for their performances, they know exactly what the kids will enjoy, but also what the parents will enjoy, and it's like clockwork, and it's incredible to watch because that's something that is not always like that in every school, so it is very cool. ASHAR prepared my daughter spectacularly for high school. Much more than I possibly would have imagined, and much more than most of her friends from other schools. She went to a very, very high academic high school, and she did great and was fully prepared in just about every single subject for high school.
She was prepared for high school.
So we actually switched our children a few years ago from a different school to ASHAR. The administration in ASHAR could not have been more incredible in just helping us with that transition. I know it's not easy for, as much as it's not easy for us and our kids, it's also not easy for a school to have children transitioning in. And they were absolutely amazing in helping each kid feel comfortable and happy, helping the girls that were already in the class get our kids acclimated. There is something I must say about Rabbi and Mrs. Jacobson. They amaze me with one unique quality about them. Their only goal and the only thing they care about is the kids. They don't care about their own kavod, they don't care about money, they don't care about anything other than the success of your individual child, and that might mean a different thing for each kid, which is amazing, and it shows through, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the kids love school, is because they can feel that. They can feel when someone honestly cares about them and only cares about their success.
Yes, we do believe that parents should be involved in their school, which is one of the reasons why we took this honor. As much as, time allows, we try to be involved as much as we can. One of the things about ASHAR is that it's a small school, like I said many times, that will listen to you when you're involved. They look for help from the parents, from input from the parents, and they actually do listen and they take it seriously.
It's funny, when I sent my kids to school originally, I just sent them to get an education. And I think ASHAR gave my kids so much more than I even anticipated. They gave them a well-rounded education, which is something so much more valuable. Aside from the actual academics, which really were great and really did prepare them very much, they give them a certain sense of being proud of being Jewish, which I think is so important, and being happy to be Jewish. They imbue them with a certain sense of feeling special, which my kids really do when they go to school. They feel special and they feel happy, and that's so much more than just an education.
Well, our kids love playing sports, so obviously the fact that ASHAR has their sports teams, their basketball teams for girls, is one of the big things that the kids really love about the extracurricular activities.
And there's actually so many things that our kids have participated in. I know that you don't know, so I'm telling them. There are so many extracurricular activities that I never would have imagined my kids would even want to get involved, and we never even had to push them. They have the Torah Bowl that both of our daughters did. There's now my daughter's involved in, there's a math club, which sounds like torture to me, but she actually,
Which one?
Kira's in math club.
Oh, wow.
That she actually chose to stay after school and stay in a math club, which they must be doing something right, because you couldn't pay me enough money to do that. They just offer so much, and they offer it in a way that the kids actually want to do it, and they're not forcing them to do it, and they're volunteering to do extra things after school, which is amazing for the kids, and it's amazing for the parents, and it really does help prepare them for life. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're being honored, so I found out that my kid's in the math club.
We really do feel so much hakar satov to Rabbi and Mrs. Jacobson for everything they have done for our kids, and the entire administration at ASHAR, Maura Jackie and Mrs. Shu, Mrs. Reifer, really all the teachers and the staff. They're so incredible, and they have given so much to our children that I really honestly believe that is something they will take with them for the rest of their lives.
I agree, and I think the administration and everybody she mentioned were amazing. And I do want to wish Mazel Tov to the co-honorees, the Friedmans, Nechama and Chaim Friedman. I believe Nechama Friedman is almost at every single ASHAR event, helping in some capacity or another. Chaim, I've known for many, many years, is just an awesome guy, helps out a lot with everything. And Mazel Tov to you. Also, I'd like to wish a big Mazel Tov to another co-honoree, Flo. Flo is really the lifeblood of ASHAR. I can't imagine what ASHAR is going to be like without her. Can't imagine what it's going to be like coming to a game after school, walking in and not seeing Flo, jumping around, telling everybody which game was just over, which game is starting, who's doing what, and just being Flo. So anyway, congratulations, Flo, and we will miss you.
I love ASHAR. I love being on the basketball team. I love all my teachers. I love my friends. I just love the vibe of ASHAR and the environment.
I loved ASHAR. I loved being on the basketball team. I made so many friends that I took with me throughout my high school.
Wow. Want to say, what do you love the most about ASHAR? Is it the lunch? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you should have lunch anymore.
Yeah, lunch is not good.
You know what she really doesn't like? French fries.
I do!
You like French fries?
We're so happy for our parents to be honored tonight. Mazel tov.
Our Parents of the Year, Nechama and Chaim Friedman, have literally filled every role possible in our yeshiva, whether volunteering professional services, serving as a class mother, PTA, board of directors, teacher. There is no task too small, too large for Nechama and Chaim. Most importantly, it's always done with warmth, with love, and with the utmost understatement, with the utmost anivus. We very much appreciate all that you continue to contribute to our yeshiva. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless you with health, with happiness, and nachas from your mishpacha.
I will never forget the day of my son's bar mitzvah when I woke up in the morning and saw that all of the electrical wires had been pulled out of my house. They're lying on the ground, they're lying on the driveway, and I'm expecting hundreds of people for Shabbos. And what do you do if you're a member of the ASHAR family? Take out your phone and you call someone who is in your ASHAR family list. Right away, I texted Nechama and I said to her, I have an electricity emergency. I was in complete panic mode. And she responded right away and she said to me, don't worry, the minute Chaim comes home from shul, he's gonna make you his first priority. And sure enough, Chaim came, fixed the entire problem, spent hours at my house. It was a last minute thing. And he just took care of us and we just felt so taken care of. That is what Nechama and Chaim are about. They are about kindness, they're about chesed, they're about going the extra mile for other people. And parents like that have children who represent those values as well. And that is why it is such a pleasure to work with Chaim and Nechama Friedman as ASHAR parents. Nechama brings her chesed and her kindness from home, and she brings it into the ASHAR family all the time, whether it's running a PTA event, taking care of a uniform situation. She's always available for whatever we need, and she enjoys helping us truly with a smile, like this is making her day instead of helping us out on our day. This year, I have the added honor of having Nechama work in the classroom right next to my office. So I get to see her every day, and I get to see her cheerful smile and see how she interacts with the children and have her exuding the kindness and the comfort and the chesed that she stands for, that she and her husband stand for.
When I found out that Nechama and Chaim Friedman were being honored at this year's dinner, I was so excited, since this is such a well-deserved honor. And then I found out that I was going to be speaking about them, and I was so happy to be given the task. But as I sat down to start writing, I realized that this was not going to be as simple as I thought. After all, I have a personal relationship with them and a school relationship with them. So where do I begin? I decided that since they're being honored at this year's dinner, I will speak about school first. The Friedmans joined ASHAR around 15 years ago when they brought their eldest son Binyamin into our kindergarten class and Dovi into our nursery class. I remember Binyamin standing outside the classroom so nervous about going inside. That is when I first got a glimpse of what an amazing mother Nechama is. She was so supportive of Binyamin, and yet at the same time, she was so thankful and grateful to the teachers for showing Binyamin patience, warmth, and care. Over the years, the Friedman girls joined ASHAR. Razy and Fagi were just so delicious and a delight to have in our school as well. Then we became very lucky. Nechama joined our pre-K staff and was a true asset to our early childhood family for 4 years. When Aryeh was born, Nechama decided to stay home and raise her baby. While I was so disappointed that she was no longer in our pre-K classes, I was so happy for her that she was able to stay home with her baby. A few years later, the calls began. Nechama, are you ready to come back into the classroom? Year after year, summer after summer, finally, she's back in the classroom. Not in early childhood, but in the 3rd grade girls class, and we are all so happy to have her back in school. While Nechama was not in the classroom, she was still a tremendous presence within our building. As her role on the PTA, she was in school handing out presents for the Chagim, for Rosh Chodesh, putting together PTA luncheons for the teachers, and many other things throughout the day. Now, I could go on and on and on about Nechama, but there is another person being honored at the dinner tonight, and that is her husband, Chaim. Chaim is also a presence in the yeshiva on a regular basis. Whether he's coming to fix electrical issues, running over to lend a helping hand, there for anything we need, or being the hockey coach for many years for the boys' hockey team, Chaim is also a presence in the building on a regular basis. My husband and I have also had the honor of being personal friends with the Friedmans. They moved into our neighborhood around 10 years ago, and we have shared many Shabbos and Yom Tov meals together. The Friedmans are truly model ASHAR parents, and we are so lucky to have a relationship with them. I am honored to be able to wish you a big mazel tov and acknowledge all that you do for our yeshiva day after day, year after year, and to personally thank you for having such a big impact on my own family. May Hashem continue to grant you both good health, siyata d'shmaya, and strength to continue to bestow your love, caring, good nature, and kindness on your family and on the entire ASHAR family as well. Mazel tov.
My experience at ASHAR was amazing. I really enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed playing on the hockey team. I learned a lot, made great friendships with a bunch of friends who I'm still in touch with to this day, and overall had an amazing time.
When I was in 5th grade, I joined the basketball team, and it was a really good experience. I made a lot of friends, and we made it to the playoffs.
My mom is a teacher now in ASHAR, a 3rd grade assistant, and it's just very fun having her around because if I forget stuff at school or like for my volcano project, she would bring it to school for me, and if I want to go early, she'll bring me home.
My mom was very involved in school. She was part of PTA, so she would come around and give out treats during all the holidays, and it was really fun getting to see her in school. And when I was in kindergarten, she started working in ASHAR. She worked with pre-K. So that was also really good that I got to see her throughout the day.
I'll say my mom in the hallways. My mom always waves to me.
My mom would always organize on the last day of school a lunch for all the teachers for how good they would like teach all the students.
I was very lucky that my parents allowed me to play 3 years on the ASHAR hockey team, eventually become the captain when I was in 8th grade, and really enjoyed it being under Coach Dove Borgen back in the day, and learned a lot and got to play hockey, stay active, and learned a lot of good life lessons. I really missed out having my father as the hockey coach. My brother, who's in Israel, not here right now, really got lucky and had my father as a hockey coach, probably one of the best hockey coaches ever.
I graduated from ASHAR last year and I'm in Berea now. I wouldn't have been able to adjust as well without the guidance of Mrs. Jacobson and Mrs. Reifer and Mrs. Giesen, who helped me get ready for high school and even during high school now.
I just want to have a special thank you to all my Rebbeim that I had in ASHAR, who really helped me form as a Yid and really be extra prepared for yeshiva. I felt above and beyond ready from all the Rebbeim that I had in ASHAR. To name a couple off the top of my head, Rabbi Jacobson, Rabbi Barish, Rabbi Staum, Rabbi B, Rabbi Isaacs, Rabbi Lowy.
What about Rabbi C?
And of course, Rabbi C. Can't forget about Rabbi C. What do you do in school? What do you learn in school?
Poem, the poem story.
The poem story.
And Parsha.
And Parsha?
Yeah.
What else did you learn in school?
Math.
Yeah? What's 1 + 1?
2.
Good job. We want to wish Flo a big mazel tov on being honored as Teacher of the Year. I remember I always looked forward to gym class because we got to play hockey, basketball, football, soccer. It was a great way to break up the school day. She was also a very big help in all the Washington trips back in the day. She was a big aspect in our trip. She made it a lot of fun for us. I want to wish my mother and father a big congratulations on being Parents of the Year. Well deserved, and lots of nachas for me. Very proud of you guys.
Hi, Mommy and Tati, all the way from Israel. I want to wish you guys a huge mazel tov on you guys getting awarded this year. I'm so happy for you guys. You guys deserve it so much. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there this year, but I'm sending my wishes all the way from Israel.
Mazel tov, Mommy and Tati, for being the Parents of the Year, because you've always told me to go for it and do whatever I want, and now you're being the Parents of the Year.
Mazel tov to my parents for being Parents of the Year. They definitely deserve it.
Mazel tov, Mommy and Tati.
To say that Teacher of the Year Flo Zeltzer contributes to school spirit is an understatement. For more than 3 decades, Mara Flo, as she is affectionately known, has been the school spirit. That's the ruach, the positivity, the energy in our yeshiva doesn't begin and end with the gym, or many years earlier, the art room, or as a second-grade assistant teacher. Whatever role Flo has filled the most recent years as our gym teacher, the primary role, and the role that has been consistent in every role she has assumed, has been that of spirit, of ruach, mentor, loving children. Mazel tov, Flo, you're one of a kind.
Flo's job in ASHAR, her role in ASHAR, is much greater than just gym teacher or athletic director. Flo was responsible for many years to paint the banners for the Israeli Day Parade. She runs the Washington trip. She ran the First Valley trip for many years. Flo is a mentor to anybody and everybody. She's our nutritionist on staff. She's our psychotherapist on staff. Flo is the one who always took care of graduation. She set up, ordered the foods, cut the melons. Flo is also responsible for busing. I know that's something she hates and she probably would give up in a second, but any child who has an issue on a bus will always find their way to Flo's office, as well as parents who need to speak to someone about a bus. For my close friend, my sister, my mentor, Florence, Francis, Fiona, Fiorini, Zeltzer. You're not retiring. You'll never retire. We are keeping you forever. May Hashem give you the strength to continue doing what you're doing for all of our children for many happy and healthy years to come.
I was a quiet, shy Brooklyn girl who moved to Muncie because I was pregnant with my 3rd child and living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Unless I Velcroed the ceiling, I'd have no place to put this 3rd kid. So unless I just whooped them up to the ceiling, there was no room for him. So we decided it's time to, find a new community, and we found Muncie. Or maybe Muncie found us. Anyway, it was meant to be. It was late July, and I got a phone call from the women's division of ASHAR. How would you like to work on a fundraiser? It was the greatest thing I ever did, because it was not only my introduction to the school, but it was an introduction to the entire community. And I have 30-year friendships from that initial introduction into the women's division. My daughter was in kindergarten, and they needed someone. She was a truant bean in a play, and they needed someone to make costumes. And I said, oh, I can help you with that. And from there, they asked me, do you think you can paint a panel of scenery? And I said, sure, I can help you with that. And so I made costumes, and I painted scenery, and I made props. And it kind of morphed from that into, you think you can help us with the Israeli Day Parade? Now, coming from Brooklyn, I had never marched in the Israeli Day Parade. And for me, that was like a super wow factor. Like, to be part of something so great, I could not say no. And then, you know, we made the banners, and we made props. Back in the old building, the day went to 5 o'clock, and they needed an afternoon female teacher to run the gym classes for the upper grade girls. And so they, would you be interested in doing that? And that's how, and it just morphed and morphed and morphed, and that's how it all started. But it initially started by working with the women of the school in the women's division, by volunteering, very important part of the school, to give what you have and share it with others in that way. I have 4 children who have graduated from ASHAR, and I quite often would think to myself, am I giving as much to my own kids as I give to the kids of ASHAR? Because when you teach, you see your coworkers and students more than you see your family for a solid 10 months. So I just want to say to all my kids, I love you. You always made me feel like I was Mother of the Year. You have always supported me. And now I have 3 of my 4 grandchildren attend ASHAR. And yeah, I have learned to ditch teachers, because sometimes it's like PTA in the hallway. So yeah. And I'm sure they're going to do just as well as my own kids did. Well, I hope they don't get suspended as much as my sons did, but that's a whole nother parsha. I feel extremely fortunate to have a job that I absolutely love. I like my job all day, every day, and I love my job all day, most days. I feel like the staff, the kids, the parents have seen the best and the worst of me, and I hope they can't tell the difference. I love being in the gym. I love having the kids run and play games, and the after-school sports, the after-school centers, all of that. It just makes for such a great, well-rounded education, and it just keeps you young and relevant. And over the years, I have shared simcha and sorrow with many families in the community, and that's the beauty of being a community school, is that you really are part of what's going on. You get to know people. I now have students whose parents I had back in 2nd or 3rd grade when I was 30 years younger, not gray, and 10 pounds lighter. So for me, it's been a remarkable journey. I've made long-lasting friendships here, the Jacobsons, the Shoes. So yeah, this is like, these are the connections that you make when you work in a community school. You go to a community shul, you run into kids in Wesley Kosher, and they lose their mind because there's a teacher shopping in the store. Like, it's crazy. And they say funny things. Like, I had a student tell me, Maury, you smell so good, you smell just like laundry. And I was like, thank you, Snuggle. No, it's great. It's great. And over the years, I've chaperoned many trips. I've been chaperoning the DC trip since 1999. In the days when you had no cell phones and no walkie-talkies, all you had was a loud voice. And that's how you got everyone's attention. And, to this day, I still have that loud voice. And even though I've been on that trip 22 times, the trip is always new every single year. It's fun and it's educational, and the kids get a lot out of it, and they enjoy it, and graduation and First Valley and all of the great things, the programming that Debbie does, the mother-daughter breakfast and all the Rosh Kodesh programs. And it's just such a great place to be. Your children, they grow and they thrive, and the teachers want to educate your children. They want to give your children what they need. They want to make sure they get what they need. They will go out of their comfort zone to make sure they get what they need, to have a conversation with them or to eat a lunch with them, to see them in the community, to walk on Shabbos and you run into someone. It's this is it. This is the school. The school is like the community. And yeah, I'm very fortunate to have a 30-year run. I'm lucky enough to have administrators who kind of get me and allow me to whoop it up, yeehaw and yahoo it all day in the gym. And yeah, it's special when you get along like that with all your coworkers. Like I said, you see them for 10 months out of the year more than you see your own family. So they do become extended family. And on that note, I want to congratulate the Cohns and the Friedmans, who are extraordinary people in their own right, just as humans, and mostly because they are devoted to our school. They're generous and kind, and they have fabulous children. I have all their children, and yeah, I'm really glad to be in company with them. I feel like I hit the jackpot.